and a very warm welcome to my live. How are you all doing today? Hopefully doing all right. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. I'm just very quickly doing some, what part of your identity are you being asked to reclaim? That's a very good question, and that's the question hopefully we can answer tonight through the tarot. So before we begin, I'll introduce you to me, just in case you don't know who me is. Who am I? Who is she? My name is Julie-Sian. I'm an internationally renowned intuitive card reader. I use tarot, oracle cards, affirmation cards, whatever cards I'm drawn to. Next week we'll be drawn to using the moon cards because we've got full moon. No, we've got full moon this week. So I don't know. Oh dear, I think I might start again. Yeah, when we got the full moon. I'm just going to double check the date of the full moon, so bear with me. We're in June. God, I can't believe we're in June already. So yes, next week. Next week we have the full moon. Wednesday the 11th is a full moon in Sagittarius. I thought it was next week, not this week. Because yes, we're only at the beginning of the June. Yes, it's full moon next week. Yes, so next week I will be using probably the full moon cards. I love my moon cards. I've got Moonology by Yasmin Boland. Love her cards. I've got another set, a couple of sets of moon cards. I love them. So you'll probably find, even though that's next Thursday, because it's called Tarot Thursday, I'll probably be using my oracle cards, moon cards. So next Wednesday we do have a full moon in Sagittarius. However, today is what part of your identity are you being asked to reclaim? And my identity is I am Julie-Sian, known as the Manifesting Mentor Queen. I'm an internationally renowned intuitive card reader. I have got my own deck of cards, Elemental Fairy Affirmation Cards by Julie-Sian. They are no longer available on Amazon. We made Amazon top 10 when they were released. So I'm just grabbing a couple of things. And they've actually sold out on Amazon, so you can now only get them from my own website. Woo! I know, ego. Not. Okay, I'm also the author of 2 books. Did You Make Your Bed? The Art of Action to Manifest Your Dream Life. I did that one. This is available on Amazon, hardback, paperback, and where it is. I can't think of words today. And the other book, Lunar Reflections, the Harnessing the Power of Zodiac Signs, Moon Faces, Tarot and Oracle Cards for Self-Discovery. This is also available hardback and paperback on Amazon, also top-selling books on Amazon. Now today I will be using tarot. So as I'm reading you, or doing readings if anyone wants them, from the UK, I do have to use this legal disclaimer because it is a law in the UK. I have to use it, especially as I'm going live. I am not allowed to give legal, medical or financial advice or pregnancy advice, and it is classed as entertainment purposes only. However, if you choose to use the guidance that is channeled to you today in any other way apart from entertainment purposes, it's down to you, not down to me, because I have done my disclaimer. I am using the Angel Tarot by Radley Valentine. Now, you may see that the title is what part of your identity are you being asked to reclaim? Yeah, because when we ask each other, you know, hello, how are you? What do you do? Who are you? And the very first thing we say is, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a mum, I'm a tarot reader. But you're not. You're not that. That is a title of how you employ yourself. And I'm not saying, you know, employment, but it's how people define themselves by the jobs that they do in order to earn a living. Now, some people love their jobs and they know their job is of service to them because, you know, they do the doctors, they're nurses, they're, you know, all these things, they're teachers, they're of service to the kids, and they do their jobs because they're of service. And we're mums. But you're more than a mum, you're more than a doctor, I'm more than a tarot reader. We have feelings, thoughts. You know, you see the people who do the cleaning the streets. You see people who are working grocery stores. You see people who are librarians. You see, and they're doing their jobs, but they're more than that. We are a human being with thoughts, with ideas, with feelings, and we are more. But what we do is, rather than step out there and say who we really are, what we do is we hide behind these titles. You know, I'm just a mum, I'm just a secretary, I'm just a receptionist, I'm just working at the local hardware store, You're more than just. That just is how you employ yourself and how you bring in money to able to survive, pay your bills, cover the rent and the mortgage and things like that. That is, but you are more than that. And so often we get lost. We get lost in who we are. You know, we're so busy being the mum, the daughter, the parent, the partner, the whatever it is. We forget what brings us joy, what brings us peace, what brings us happiness. And it's saying, what is your identity? Who are you? Who are you? I remember the girl from Big Brother, a girl called Nikki. It's a very fair part. Bless her, she's passed now. She had anorexia, I believe, and she passed from ill health from that. And I don't know if this is probably just aging you or aging me. And she went on, someone wound her up in the garden, and she went in to speak to a Big Brother. And her comments was, who is she? Who is she? You know, and it's come now, it's like, who are you? You know, who are you? You know, who do you think you are, sort of thing. And who are you? Tell me who you are. I'm kind, I'm passionate, I'm caring, I do charge in. I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries. Now, I've named myself. I've just put myself in a box. I'm an Aries. But who am I? I like to think I'm a loving person. I like to look for adventures. As my little grandson says, you know, she goes, oh, I love when you come, Nana, or when I come to visit, because we always have an adventure. We do. We don't have a normal walk in the park. Our walks in the parks are we on a dinosaur hunt? Are we on an adventure to find the pirates? Are we on adventures to... I don't tell anyone on an adventure to find the fairies or the unicorns. Not yet. He's too young for that. But he says we'll come on an adventure. And that's it. I like to adventure. I'm one of those people who, you know, when you go on holiday and people go, oh, I get so bored sitting by the beach all day. Yes, I love sitting on the beach. And I can do that for a few hours. But then I think, I've come all this way and I want to visit the countryside. I want to get out. I want to go and see the museums. I want to go and see the churches. I want to go and see the markets. I want to go, you know, I do like sitting by the beach or the pool. But if I've travelled somewhere, I want to get out and about. And that's what I am. And if someone says to me, oh, I find it so boring sitting on the beach, well, it's because you like a bit of adventure. And if you're finding it's boring, then don't do it. Go and do something that is exciting. And people say, oh, I don't like reading, it's boring. And it's like, okay, maybe you're either reading the wrong books, because some people love books and they like adventure books, sci-fi books. I read self-help books. I used to read a lot of, this is a name tag, Mills and Boon's romance books. Other romance books also available. I used to read them in the bath. And sometimes I drop them in there. But yeah, so, you know, so I'm a reader. I search for knowledge. I'm forever trying to grow. What I've been doing lately to try and find out who I am, I've been doing sort of research and encouraging to find my purpose. What is my purpose? And that is what it is. Your identity is finding your purpose. Now, the purpose, you go, well, I'm a mum and that's my purpose, so that, you know, sort of thing, do things. However, your purpose in life is, yes, you are a mother and your purpose is to get your child up in the morning and make sure they get to bed at night safe and secure and nothing awful happens to them. if you know what I mean. That's your purpose. And but you know, what is the purpose? The purpose is to nurture our children. Our purpose is to show them how to be full-bodied, rounded people, and with the knowledge of being kind and compassionate. That is your job, is to nurture these children. Yes, the day-to-day job is, I've got to get them up, got to get them dressed, got to get them to school, got to get them back, got to give them their tea, got to get them bathed, get them to bed and stuff like that. No, those are all the little bits. That's the job. That is the job that you do as a mother. But the part, or a father, mother or father or whatever, I'm not going to get into being woke. I'm not going there. So, you know, if you have a problem with just saying mum, you know, if you're the father, single parent, single dad, you know, I'm not going there. So, but your job is not just to get them up in the morning, get them through the day, feed them, bath them, clothe them, and get them to bed in the evening, and then repeat it. Yes, that is your action job as a mother, but your purpose, and this is where it is your identity, your purpose for that child is to nurture them, to teach them how to be kind and respectful to others, to be kind and respectful to themselves. That's the first number one. And how do you do that? Because you're kind and respectful to them, and they can only learn from you. And your identity then is a teacher, to teach them life skills, to be of service, and how they can be. And how can you become your own identity? Because you'll get so wrapped up of being the mother, the father of these children, that you get lost. And suddenly when the child leaves at age 18, leaves home, whatever age, or goes off to university, you suddenly sit at home and you look around and they've gone to university, or they're 21, or they've gone off and they're gone to live in another country. I mean, I know my daughter, when she was 18, she went to a university in a different country to the UK, to the England. Yes! She couldn't get away from it, but Wales. However, that's another story. So you're suddenly sitting there, and the children have flown the nest, and you're the mother and the father or whatever, and you're sitting there and you're going, now what? Because for the last 18 or so years, you have lost who you were. Because before you became the mother, before you became the partner, before you came that, you were living your life, you know. You were going out night clubbing, maybe not, I don't know. You were going out and living all these sorts of things. I travelled. I did a lot of travelling before I met my husband, then husband. And I travelled. I'd work and travel, and I explored because I like the freedom, etc. like that. And that's who I am. My identity is the freedom to experience life and to share. And this is how my identity is. Yes, I do it, and with the knowledge that I've gained over the years of being a parent, of being a partner, my knowledge and life experience of suffering divorces, life experience of being divorce, suffering miscarriages, ill health, and coming over that, and my knowledge I've learned of how to write the books, all my journals. Yes, remember, I do journals. So who am I? Well, I've got multiple names. You know, I'm an author, I'm the creator of Reiki Teddy, I'm a tarot reader, I do mentoring, I'm a Reiki master, I'm trained as a medical secretary, I'm trained in beauty yeah, I'm a beauty therapist. Absolutely. You know, nails, face, you wouldn't know it. That was years ago. Massage therapist, I love my massage. Aromatherapist, I'm all these things. So how do I identify myself? Do I want to identify myself as an aromatherapist? Because I'm a nana, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. I was a daughter. Maybe I still am, because mum and dad are here. You know, so who is my identity? So when was the last time you asked yourself, who were you? And as I said, who am I? Who am I? And sometimes we need to become the hermit. Now, this is the card from the tarot. And the hermit, he goes away. He goes into his cave. He retreats. He goes within himself to discover who he is. And sometimes we have to go in and find out who we are. And when we find out who we are, it's finding our purpose. Now, there are two purposes in life. There's the purpose of why am I doing this? The purpose of why do I go and do my job as a nurse, as a doctor, as a secretary, as a road sweeper, as a stacker of food in grocery room. Why do we do that? The purpose behind that why is to bring in money so you can pay your rent, pay your bills, to get food on the table and to clothe the kids and to buy your car, buy the car, to pay for the car, to pay for. That's why you go to work, to earn money. Money is a tool which enables you to do all these other things. And this tool of money, you transform it into paying the bill, paying to go on holiday, paying for the food. You give money and you swap it to food which you eat. You pay money to buy the drink which you swap to drink. You pay money, it's a tool. This tool, T-O-O-L, allows you to change that into an experience of going on holiday to the Sahara Desert, to India, to the Costa del Sol. And then with that money that you use it as a tool, that tool enables you to have a wonderful experience of sitting in the sun, sunbathing on the beach or by the pool. And it's a tool that allows you to do this. This tool allows you to have a car which takes you on adventures. Well, the adventure might be a traffic jam in the rush hour every Monday to Friday, but it's a tool, that money, and that's when you start changing ways of thinking. And when you've got the Hermit, what is it we need to use to find out our identity? And like I said, that's the purpose. That's one purpose. Why do I go to work? Why do I become a doctor or a lawyer? It enables you to earn money. That's one purpose. Why? Why do we go to work? The purpose behind going to work is the money. The reason why we have the money is that we can change it as a tool. And this tool, because you have different tools. You have knives, forks, spoons. They're all different tools. Depending on what you want to do with your, with your knife and your fork and the spoon to eat your soup. So this money, you change it into tools. And that is one of your purposes. But your other purpose is like your spiritual purpose, your identity. Why, who are you? Claim you. And the purpose of being here is I'm of service. Your purpose is of service. And that service can be via your jobs, like the job you do, but you're doing a service. I'm giving advice and guidance to people, so my service is to you, to give you guidance and to help you reclaim who you are. And the Hermit, and we have to become the Hermit to go within, to find out. And one of the first things is to find out is, what made you joyful, what made you happy. And so often we get so wrapped up, especially like parents, we don't put our life on hold because we choose not to. We choose to go from one thing, free and easy, to suddenly becoming a mother, a father with this child, and we choose to look after them and nurture them and teach them and let them grow. And then when they leave home, we then go, now what? Now what is your purpose? Because suddenly that purpose is finished. The purpose of being a full-time mum is gone. And you're lost. And the first thing I say to people is go within and remember before the children came along, what did you do to bring you joy and happiness? Oh, I used to dance, I used to read, I used to go on, So reclaim that joy. And now that you've got all that life experience, how can you share that service of you to someone else? How can you find your identity? What is your identity? What is the service you can offer people? Now, there's so many different ways we can help not only serve ourselves, it's not selfish to be self-fulfilling, but there are other ways we can be a service to other people. And we have to go within to find it. And when do we find that we're doing the right service? It's when we're doing something that is joyful to us, that brings us happiness, peace. And if you are doing things that bring you peace and joy and happiness and contentment, then you have found your true identity and you found your true purpose. Now, some people love being parents. I loved it. Yes, sleepless nights, cleaning up puke and poo when they've been ill, everything's, night and day. But being a parent and now being a nana, I love it. I love it, and all the things that come with it. It brings me so much joy and happiness. So I've got multiple services. I service my grandchildren. I was there when it was on Tuesday doing it. Quick, can you go and pick up the grandson from school? Problem. Do. Yes. Good job, bud. Got a car. Boom. Off I went. I was a service. He was so excited. Oh, Nana. Oh, you're picking me up. Yay. Didn't know how much a 5-year-old can chat. Nearly 6. He clearly pointed out. Funny. But yeah, but the Hermit, he entitles you to go within. And it says spend time in quiet meditation. You don't have to go into and sit in the full lotus position for an hour going and find out. You can just sit quietly. You can go and sit in the garden, sit in the park, go and have a bubble bath and lie in the bath, you know, and just have quiet contemplation and ask yourself, who am I? And put your hand on your heart and listen. Listen. We don't listen to ourselves. How often are you asked to do something and you don't really want to do it, but you go ahead and do it? You're not listening to yourself. You know, I mean, I know we've got to wash the dishes, clean the car, put the trash out, you know, clean the toilet and things like that. There are jobs that we've got to do, but it's just in the small picture of things. But in the bigger picture, when you've got to do something and it's like, I don't really want to do this, you know, and listen to yourself. And if you don't want to do it and you go ahead and do it, you're not being a service to yourself first. And if you feel that you've got to do something but you don't want to do it, you need to say that two-letter word, no. Because if you go and do it, because your body, your spirit, your soul is saying no, you're not being a service to yourself. The Hermit, he goes within. Got to go within and listen. And if you then turn around and to that person say, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you, or just no, I can't help you, don't be apologise. Do never apologise for living. I'm always saying sorry. Just say, no, I can't help today. Find someone else. Now, I had a client this week and she was a people pleaser. And she said, yeah, I'm always doing these things. And I turned around and I said to her, if you were on holiday and this person asked you, could you babysit tonight? And you were physically in Lanzarote, you would say, no, I am in Lanzarote. And that person would go, okay, thanks, I will ask someone else. So if you can say no when you're not in the country to help them, why can't you say no to them if it doesn't feel right to you? And if they say, oh please, and you go, no, please ask someone else. And if they then go, they are the ones with the problem. They're being, number one, disrespectful to you. They're being disrespectful because they're forcing you. And then they make you feel good. And it's just like, tough. The answer is no. And then you've listened and you've been of service to yourself. You've gone within and you've listened. Now there are times, yes, you know, we feel, you know, it goes like grandma's fallen and broken her, you know, my grandma's fallen and she's on the way to an ambulance, to hospital, we think she's broken her hip. Then you go, yeah, I'll go and help. You know, even though you're in the middle of doing dishes and things like that, there are times when we do have to go and do things and we can choose to do it. But again, on those other times when you feel, I really don't want to do it, and they're going, oh, please, and they're going, number one, they're being disrespectful to you. Number two, you're being not listening to yourself. You're not being of service to you. And you're not being service to them as well, because you're letting them get away. They're letting you break the boundaries. They've broken your boundaries. And you need to ask yourself, be the Hermit, why do I allow these people to cross the boundaries? Oh, you know, I'm a people pleaser. Well, whatever you do will never be enough because you feel you're not enough. You go within like the Hermit. Go within. Why? One day I don't feel I'm enough. You do all this. I do this and I do this and I do this. And they still... And then when you ask them, how many times are these people you've bent over backwards to help this person? All time and time and time again, and then suddenly you need help and you ring them up and they go, no, sorry. And you're thinking, hell, all the times I've dropped everything for them How horrible. Now, I'm not talking about unconditional love or conditions, but it's just like, yeah, just think. So, and they say no to you, so why can't you say no to them? Because it's a two-way street, you know, a coin, heads and tails. Go in, go within and ask yourself why. Part of your identity you're being asked to reclaim. Reclaim your boundaries. Reclaim who you are. And it's okay. Reclaim self-respect. Your identity is someone who is self-respectful to themselves. You're someone who has your own boundaries. You're someone who will say to someone else, no, it's okay. And if they've got a problem, say, it's your problem, not mine, because they're being disrespectful. So today in your identity, you're respectful to yourself. And if you're not respectful to yourself, why are people walk over you? Because you've got no respect for yourself. That's your identity. Be respectful. What is it else you've got to reclaim? Your boundaries. Quite clearly you haven't got any boundaries. So find that identity. That why do you not let yourself have these boundaries? Why do you let them? Oh, it's because, you know, I like to help them and stuff. But you're resentful about it. But it's more to that. Because you're trying to be a people pleaser. That's not your identity. You're not a people person. You're more enough because you're doing it to try and be enough. But you are perfectly enough. And that's your identity. To acknowledge that you are enough. You are perfect. You're not broken. Oh, I hate that word. I hate the word when someone, he broke me. She broke me. Oh, that was broke, you know. And I'm poor me. You're not broken. You broke away. Suddenly you had all this shit thrown you, and then they go, enough, it's enough. You suddenly discover your boundaries. And what you break is the control that person has over you. You're not broken. You've broken their control. You broke free. You broke free to become your own true identity. And sometimes we have to go within, like the hermit, to find this. Go within and to go, you know what, I do want to have boundaries. I do. And you can still help people as much as you want, but under your own conditions. Unconditional love? Yes, unconditional. Maybe you have to be unconditional love to say no to them, for them to learn, because they're not going to learn. So my answer to you is, what part of your identity are you being asked to reclaim? Go within. You need to reclaim your boundaries. You need to claim your self-respect for yourself. You need to honour yourself. You need to be of service to yourself. It's not selfish to be self-fulfilling. And to be able to reclaim your identity, you have to become the hermit, to go within and become the person that you truly are. Now, when my ex left, my friend, one of my friends, told me a very powerful statement, and they said, we've got our Julie back. It was like, what? We've got our Julie back. And I didn't realise how lost I was, and how, I'm not going there with the relationship, but they said, we've got you, you've got your joy back, you can do all the things you used to do when before. Okay, I'm not going there, all right, because mental and physical abuse, even though, so what I'm saying is that they said to me, we've got our Julie back. You've got your identity back. You now become, even yes, you're now a single mum with the kids and you've got all that, but we've got Julie back. And that's when I also started stepping into the Julie-Sian, because that's who I am, Julie-Sian. Not Julie, Julie-Sian. That is my name. Julie-Sian is my name. And for so long, and I was talking a couple of days ago how I was always known as Charlie's little sister, Jamie's sister, Jonathan's wife, your Dr. Trott's daughter. And I used to get really annoyed. I go, I'm Julie, I'm Julie, I'm Julie. And no one ever listened. And it's like she said, once I broke free, and I wasn't broken. I was the acorn who broke through the shell, and I'm now that strong oak growing. I reclaimed my identity but I had to go within. Are you going within? So what part of your identity are you wanting to reclaim? And sometimes we need to go within. We need to look at our lives, really look. And if you really want something, the purpose, your purpose is to be a service. That number one service is of yourself. And if you're doing things that aren't happy or in alignment with you, you know if it's not in alignment with you because you don't like doing it. If it's in alignment with you, you're going to love it. You know, you're going to love it. It's like people who love Brussels sprouts and they go Christmas dinner, oh, I love my Brussels sprout, yummy, yummy. Brussels sprouts are not in alignment with this body. Oh no, oh no. I was a child and my mum used to make me eat one Brussels sprouts and it was like, Christmas dinner, this horrible, soggy, green. It's not in alignment with my body. No. No, if someone could give me a Brussels sprout in an amazing way, I mean, I don't know. But to me, Brussels sprouts, sushi, not in alignment, all right? But I had a very nice Chinese, home-cooked Chinese dinner last night. You know, there's other things that are, you know, a good glass of Asti Spumante. Now, Asti Spumante is in alignment with my body. Prosecco is not. Yes, Asti Spumante. Oh, yes, definitely in alignment. Prosecco, not. I'm a brandy girl, not a whiskey girl. Yeah. What am I talking about? Alcohol. Cadbury's chocolate. Yes. I don't like American chocolate. That's not in alignment with me. Can you see what I mean? I will eat it. And yes, as a child, I did eat the one Brussels sprout. But it was always like gagging and no, and you know, and or what I would do is mash it down into nothing and cover it in gravy with a big piece of turkey on it. Yes, I'm a meat eater. Boom. And eat my Brussels sprout like that. But it was in alignment. And it definitely wasn't in alignment with my arse. I digress. But what I mean is reclaiming your identity. As my friend said to me, when my partner left, my husband left, they said, we've got our Julie back. And it was like, I didn't realise how or who I had become. And it was a shell of myself. And what happened, I had to become a shell. And this is what happens to people. When they go, they break me. You become a shell of yourself. And when you talk about being broken, that shell of yourself, which you put up, it's a protection you put around you, you become blinkered. You're blinkered about what's going on. I'm talking about when you're with a narcissist or people who are controllers, and you don't even realise because they chip and chip and chip and chip away at you. And you suddenly have this shell around you. And what happens is they didn't break you. You broke free. You broke that shell and you're now growing into this beautiful oak tree from this acorn. So, the Hermit, so we have to go within. And what brings you joy? Because one of the first things I did was I like travelling. Stop doing that travelling. They're in the very, very, very first things I did with the kids. We just got on a plane and we went to America to join my American family in Florida. Hannah was going, what? I went, yeah. 2 fingers and up at you. Always wanted to go to Disney. I'm taking my kids to meet the family who are based in Orlando and we're off. I found myself. And then I had my mantra. If I can do America, I can do anything. And this is what you've got to do, is reclaiming your identity. So what part of your identity have you lost? What did you used to do that brings you joy? What do you do now that brings you pain? Stop doing the things that bring you pain and do more things that bring you joy. And when you start doing things that bring you joy, you will be finding your true identity and what truly is in alignment with you. The Hermit. Go within and find your joy. I do hope today has helped. I do hope if you've been inspired by it. If you're wanting help to find your inner self, book a full reading with me. I'm here. You can message me directly or you can visit the website. In a minute when I've finished, I will put my website link there. But message me directly. Let's put that, because sometimes you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do this. And a lot of people don't know how to reclaim because you are so covered in day-to-day things. You get so involved in got to do this, got to do this, got to do it, and take a breather. I don't know where to start. I know something's missing. I'm missing my spot. I know there's more to life here. I know I've got more to give, but I don't know where to start. You're overwhelmed, and then you're scared to take that step. What if they're upset? What if my neighbours say? What if my partner will say? What will mum say? What will the priest say? What will the neighbours say? What will the king and queen say? What will the president say? What will them? And you're wanting guidance. Book your message, book your reading, book your mentoring session. Most people need mentoring rather than guidance, but so some people I do a mixture, because having the cards in front of you will give you direct focus on where to go. So I do hope this has helped. If you're watching back, #replay, press #replay. Please do watch this back, because I have covered some amazing deep work tonight. I hope it resonates. Let me know in the comments, if you, when you watch this back, how it resonated with you. And if you want help into discovering your identity in order to reclaim yourself, let's do it now. Wishing you an absolutely amazing evening, whatever you're doing. We've got the weekend coming. Woohoo! So enjoy the weekend, and hopefully I will be joining you live on Tuesday with some more readings. And of course next week we have a full moon. So next week, probably Tuesday and Thursday, if I am live, because if I'm here, I'm not sure, because I've got an offer to be away. And if I go away, I won't have the internet, so I won't be able to go live. But if I am around, I will probably doing moon readings. Have a great evening, have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we can touch base with each other next week. Take care. Namaste.